success leaves clues. And the world's highest performers, they're not winging it. They're working from patterns, habits that quietly create extraordinary outcomes. They think differently, move differently, and live by a rhythm that most people never adopt. In this video, we're breaking down 10 habits of highly successful people you can start building today. These aren't hacks. They're not quick fixes. They're the habits that build resilience, momentum, and long-term greatness. Let's get into it. Welcome to Pick Yourself for Success. We're here to help you step out of your head and into your greatness. Habit 1. They start before they're ready. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Readiness is a myth. Most people spend their lives waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel more confident, waiting until fear disappears. But highly successful people, they start before they're ready. They understand that clarity doesn't come before action, it comes because of it. You don't get confidence and then act. You act, stumble, adjust, and then confidence shows up. That business idea, start sketching. That book you've been meaning to write, open the document, that fitness journey, do the first 10 push-ups. They don't chase perfection, they chase progress. They know fear is loudest before the leap and quietest after movement. They don't let fear rent space in their minds. They push forward, even while uncertain, because motion changes emotion. And once you're in motion, fear has to run to keep up. So here's the real question. Where in your life have you been waiting for permission? And what would happen if you just started anyway? Habit 2. They control the first hour. Highly successful people guard the first hour of their day like it's gold. Because it is. The first hour isn't just a routine, it's a ritual. It sets the tone for everything that follows. Average performers react to the morning. They hit snooze, they check their phones, they scroll, compare, consume, and wonder why their day feels off. Successful people, they take control, they rise with intention, they move their body, they read something that fuels their mind, they reflect, journal, pray, meditate. Whatever centers them, they choose how their day begins instead of letting the world choose for them. Why? Because the brain is most impressionable right after waking up. What you do in that window programs your mood, focus, and drive. If your morning starts in chaos, don't be surprised when your day mirrors it. But when you begin with stillness, movement, clarity, and direction, you create a kind of momentum money can't buy. So here's a challenge. What if you stopped treating your morning like an accident and started treating it like a launch pad? Win the morning, and you win the day. And on that note, if you want to win more of your days, then check out our game-changing video, How to Structure Your Day for Success. Habit 3. They protect their energy. Time is valuable, but energy is the real currency of success. Highly successful people manage their energy the way top investors manage money, with intention, clarity, and boundaries. They evaluate every commitment, conversation, and environment based on return on energy, not just return on investment. Return on energy, or ROE, is the measure of how much something fuels or drains a person's drive, focus, and creativity. Low RO environments, they walk away. High RO routines, they double down because they understand this. What drains you will eventually define you. Protecting energy means learning to say no, often, and without guilt. It means avoiding energy vampires. It means filtering out drama, digital overload, and relationships that no longer align with the mission. It also means managing the inputs, the books consumed, the conversations allowed, the food, the content, the noise. All of it either charges the battery or depletes it. Rest is also part of the equation. Strategic recovery isn't laziness, it's leadership. Energy is finite, and those who protect it multiply their impact over time. This principle, and others like it, are broken down in our book, Pick Yourself for Success, How to Step Out of Your Head and Into Your Greatness. There's a link in the description area to snag your copy. Protect your energy because your future depends on it. Habit 4. They think in systems. Highly successful people don't rely on motivation. They build systems. Motivation is emotional. It fades. Systems are structural. They scale. A system is simply a repeatable set of steps that removes decision fatigue and keeps progress moving, even when life gets messy. Average performers ask, how can I stay motivated? High performers ask, what structure can I build so I don't have to rely on motivation? They create systems for how they eat, systems for how they train, systems for how they manage money, relationships, and work. Because systems reduce friction, and friction kills consistency. Let's say someone wants to write a book. A system might be, write for 25 minutes every weekday at 7 a.m. before checking email. No guesswork, no negotiating, just execution. That's how habits turn into results. Not through willpower, but through workflow. They make success predictable and repeatable. Not random, reactive, or stressful. When the process becomes clear, the outcomes become consistent. Habit 5. They move their bodies every day. Highly successful people treat their body like it's part of their business plan, because it is. Physical movement isn't just about fitness. It's about focus. It's about resilience. It's about showing up with energy, clarity, and confidence, day after day. The research is clear. Exercise boosts brain function, sharpens memory, and increases emotional regulation. In other words, the body fuels the mind. Whether it's lifting weights, walking in the morning, stretching between calls, or hitting a workout after work, the habit is the same. Move. Every day. Because motion builds momentum, and momentum builds motivation. Movement is also medicine. It clears stress, lowers anxiety, and anchors the mind to the present. The most successful people don't view exercise as optional. They view it as essential, not because they're training for a marathon, but because they're training for life. It's not about doing what's extreme. It's about doing what's consistent. And if you want to see how this habit fits into the bigger picture of wealth building, check out the video on this channel called 15 Investments the Rich Use to Stay Ahead. There's a link in the description area. Habit 6. They read every day. Successful people treat reading like a competitive advantage. While others scroll and binge, they study and absorb. Not because it's trendy, but because it sharpens their edge. Reading expands vocabulary, deepens focus, improves empathy, and unlocks new mental models. It's not just information, it's transformation. Books are mentorship on demand, lessons from history, blueprints for business, mindsets from the world's greatest thinkers, all available for the price of a lunch. High performers don't read because they have more time. They make time because they read. 10 pages a day, 15 minutes of audio while walking, an hour each weekend. They stack the habit wherever they can. It's not about volume, it's about consistency. And over time, those small deposits compound into clarity, insight, and powerful decision-making. Reading isn't passive, it's an act of self-leadership. This is exactly why Pick Yourself for Success. How to Step Out of Your Head and Into Your Greatness was written. It's more than a book. It's a roadmap. There's a link in the description area to grab your copy. Habit 7. They embrace boredom. High performers aren't addicted to constant stimulation. They're not afraid of stillness. They don't run from silence. In fact, they seek it. Because boredom is where breakthroughs begin. In a world designed to distract, highly successful people protect their ability to focus. They know that every scroll, every notification, every dopamine hit trains the brain to avoid deep work. So they practice stillness. They sit with hard problems. They let their minds wander. Not to escape, but to connect dots others miss. Great ideas aren't born in chaos. They surface in the quiet. That's why top performers often walk without their phones, journal without a prompt, think without background noise. They understand that boredom isn't the enemy, it's a tool. It sharpens clarity, it builds patience, and it unlocks the kind of original thinking that can't be rushed. While most people panic when things get quiet, the successful lean in. Because they know that silence speaks if you're disciplined enough to listen. Habit 8. They keep a bias toward action. Successful people don't wait for perfect conditions. They move. They don't need all the answers before they begin. They take a step, learn, adjust, and keep stepping. This is called a bias toward action. It means choosing progress over paralysis. It means doing the work even when doubt shows up. It means understanding that clarity doesn't come first. It comes from the doing. Most people overthink. They analyze, they scroll, they plan, they wait. But high performers know that motion beats meditation. You can't think your way into a new result. You have to move your way into one. Action is feedback. Every step forward teaches something the sidelines never will. And in the Bible, this is what James meant when he said, "Faith without works is dead." It's not about what you believe in theory. It's about what you're willing to do in practice. So when in doubt, take the next step. Send the email, make the call, record the video, test the idea. Perfection is a trap. Momentum is the goal, because it's not about making the perfect move. It's about making a move. Habit 9, they reflect ruthlessly. Highly successful people aren't just in motion, they're in alignment. And that alignment comes from reflection. They pause, they review, they ask hard questions. What worked? What didn't? What needs to change? While others move blindly from task to task, top performers build in space to evaluate. They track habits, they document wins. They study failures without shame, because every mistake is data. Reflection isn't about guilt or self-judgment, it's about clarity. It's about understanding the patterns behind the outcomes. They reflect weekly, sometimes daily. Not in a dramatic way, but in a structured, intentional rhythm. Because they know this. If you don't stop to examine the path, you might be sprinting in the wrong direction. That's why one of the core principles in our book, Pick Yourself for Success, is called What's Your Azimuth? It explains that even a few degrees off, if unchecked, will take you miles away from your true destination. Drift is real, and course correction starts with reflection. There's a link in the description to grab your copy of the book and dive deeper. Ruthless reflection turns experience into wisdom and ambition into alignment. Habit 10, they surround themselves with growth. Success isn't a solo sport. Highly successful people are intentional about their environment because they know that environment is strategy. They don't just surround themselves with people who cheer. They surround themselves with people who challenge, people who push, people who are going somewhere. They choose growth-minded circles, mentors who tell them the truth, peers who keep them accountable, voices that remind them who they're becoming, not just who they've been. Because proximity is power, and who you're around shapes what you believe is possible. You can't reach your next level surrounded by people who are committed to staying the same. These habits aren't hype, they're the foundation. The people who rise highest aren't lucky, they're consistent. They don't wait for the right mood, moment, or motivation. They build systems, they protect energy, they reflect, act, and grow daily. And so can you. If you're serious about stepping into your next level, these principles, and so many more, are broken down in Pick Yourself for Success: How to Step Out of Your Head and Into Your Greatness. There's a link in the description to grab your copy. Success isn't random, it's built, one habit at a time.